I don't know if I should ever continue doing this, honestly. I think I'm deceiving myself. I realized that I've never left the prison. 11th of May, 2018. I was in Mersin, Turkey. I was going home with a plastic bag in my hand. And there was bread in it and Coke, as I remember. Then police stopped me and they arrested me in charge of making Islamist terrorist organization propaganda, although I'm not Muslim at all, or I've never been a terrorist or something like that. It was for only sharing my thoughts on Turkish social media, for only criticizing the government. Then tons of things happened. They put me in prison. Like, it's a long story, but in a nutshell, I was in prison for a year. Then I escaped from prison. For 1.5 years, I was fugitive. Then I got caught again while I was trying to go to Greece illegally. They put me in prison 1.5 years more. So in total, for 4 years, I was not. So I'm free. Then, as soon as I finished my penalty, I left the country because there were more cases after me. And now I'm wanted in my own country. Like, there are 6 different courts issued my arrest warrant. Like, I'm wanted in my own country. And that the first arrest warrant happened after I left the country, like soon after, like 10 days later or something. I was in Russia. I went to Russia for 3 months. That was the only break that I felt free a bit. That was the only little break. But still, my future was uncertain. And that was bothering me a lot. That's a lot of, like, very long story. There's a lot to tell, but I want to get to the point. Like, after the 3 months in Russia, last day of my visa, I came to Russian-Estonian border, and without Schengen visa, with only my documents, I asked Russian soldiers to leave me, to let me go to the Estonian side. Technically, without Schengen visa, you cannot pass. But I did. They questioned me until the morning, and I passed. And then the other side questioned me until the evening, the Estonian side, etc. Finally, I could make it. When I was entering here, of course, I did not know anything about the astrology or the Saturnian energies, like Saturn IC stuff, etc. Like, I knew astrology a bit. Actually, I newly had discovered astrocartography as well, but I did not know the details and how these things work, etc. Nothing. Like, nothing. I came to Estonia, and at first I stayed in the refugee camp for 10 months. Then, starting from January 2023, I was in civil life again after long years. However, right now it's 20th of July 2026, and I'm really facing a fact that I could never leave the prison. I couldn't do it. I thought I did. I thought I left the prison. Like, look at the recurring pattern. Actually, you know what? I started this story from 2018, the day that I got arrested. And the next day I was in prison already. But honestly, it goes back like when I was a child, I was feeling the restrictions of my house and the surroundings and such. I mean, when I was growing up, like my house, my parents, like they were all something that I wanted to get rid of at some point because I was not happy. Well, I mean, my parents were divorced already when I was. I mean, they divorced twice, honestly. First, when I was 5 years old, 6 years old, something like that. And then when I was 17, permanently. But that was something that I was trying to get rid of, like that house, my parents. To this day, I still feel ambivalent. And although they're the people I love the most inside, they're also the same people that I hate the most inside. Like, I cannot tell the hate that I feel for them with me, like, unbearably. I feel hatred for them, unbearably. Anyway, in course of time, technically, I got rid of them, but not in a way that I wanted to. Uh, Throughout my teenagerhood, like I was always like staying with my mom, staying with my dad, etc. Like between these two, and then in my early 20s, it was just like without family, home, etc. I was just staying with my friends, like in different cities. Like I was rootless, not ruthless, rootless. And it continued like that for some years until um, I was back to my hometown, and a few months later I got arrested, as I told you. Before I got arrested, I was I was in prison as well, technically. I was trying to find money to buy a MacBook, which I have right now, then create these music production stuff, which I'm been doing here, etc. But I didn't have the facilities to handle these things. Then, like soon after, the prison penalty shit happened. And then, like, when it was definite that I will go to prison after the decision of the high court. My last few months were like actually 6 months, and maybe a bit slightly more than that. Already past feeling like in prison because I lived by knowing that I'm gonna go to prison, and then I really went to prison. Then I escaped. Then I got caught and was put in prison back. And then I escaped, came to refugee camp, and then I got out of refugee camp. Now I'm living my life as 100% isolated, lonely, and in the middle of nothingness. When I look at the big picture, honestly, I have a lot of reasons to end my own life indeed. Because I don't see any light, and I also don't think it's going anywhere. Because the torturing part is I'm a human being with high desires. For public recognition, I have high desires, like a lot of ideas in my mind, a lot of fantasies. Like, I want to get public recognition with tremendous success. And I want to also satisfy my physical desires as well. A lover would do very good in this case. It would be fantastic. And also emotional needs there are. Again, a lover, friends, etc. Like lover or lovers. I don't mind. Or fuck buddies. Or friends. Like whatever. The things that keeps you filled up. You know, having sex, making meaningful conversations, exchanging deep words, and all this kind of stuff. The stuff that makes you feel alive, the stuff that makes you feel human. And knowing that I'm totally blocked by the powers above me, the invisible powers above me, and trying to live like that, by knowing that people will oppose you, by knowing that nothing will work here, by knowing that everything lasts for a day here, it is extremely hard. Why I'm saying this? Because I tried pretty much everything in this location. Because I have desires. Because I want to live. Because I want to get involved in living this life. But life still didn't accept me to its own circle yet. It just suppresses me out of somewhere. And I'm being an outsider. And life puts me in a position for me to become a spectator only. I'm just watching. I'm not living. And the worst part, as I said, the most torturing part, I am still feeling it. To feel, to have these cravings, the emotional connection cravings, the sexual touch cravings, all these connection cravings, and the recognition cravings, success cravings, like literally life craving, while I'm craving for life. I'm just witnessing every day, nothing is fucking happening. Literally, nothing is happening in my life. I'm surrounded by the walls. Even if I'm out of the walls, when I walk around, I feel like there's a fucking invisible wall. And people don't see me. I'm no one. Nobody knows me. I know nobody. Even if I get some acquaintances, like by some encounters, etc., throughout all this time that I'm living here, everything lasts for a day, and the next day nobody knows nobody. And this is how it is. Like, this is not life. So, I ended up with this analysis. I am still in prison. I never got out of prison. I was just given this computer and a chance to make music, but this is not enough to make a life. Not enough. And another huge disappointment was, I just mentioned just before I was sent to prison, I was wishing for buying a MacBook. I was wishing for, buying a DAW unit, like Logic Pro, for example. Back then, I was wanting to learn more Logic Pro. I was thinking if I could learn all the techniques in music production, everything in music production, I will level up in life. And honestly, later on, after I came here, I made money with music, like much more than my whole life combined before I come here. For real, like throughout all my life combined, I didn't see this amount of money, and like just through music, like I made them around, in total, in all these years that I'm here, like 4.5 years now, like around, well, I mean, like probably more than $200,000 or something like that. But of course, it was not enough, honestly. But like because I'm a poor guy, so that's why it was a lot, technically. I mean, and like it didn't make me happy either, because like my base doesn't exist. When you don't have base, when you don't have infrastructure, when you don't have that, when you don't get your needs met, everything is becoming meaningless. Fuck the money. I want recognition. I want love. I want sex. I want, all these stuff. I want friends. Like, but what I get, just loneliness. Like, crazy amount of loneliness. Like, this is absolutely abnormal. That's how I actually solved the mystery of astrology, because soon after I arrived here, I recognized something is wrong here, and this really felt like a setup. Really felt like a setup. And it is still a setup. And I don't understand the things behind this. I'm really thinking deeply beyond the existence. Like, who benefits this while I'm getting tortured? Here by myself. Who gets benefit out of this thing? I mean, in the spiritual realms, I don't know. I don't believe in metaphysical creatures, and none of us know the answer of where we come from, of course. Well, we are here. That's so fucked up, by the way. That's so fucked up. That is so fucked up. Like, none of us know shit. Where we're coming from and where we are going to. Nobody knows what happens after death. Nobody knows where was the material that created us and made us us before we existed. Where was that material? All these things are fucking complicated and like fucking nuts. Like I cannot stand thinking about these things. But anyway, let's go back to a bit surface and go back to this mundane stuff. And yeah, on this worldly level, I'm creating some discipline plans, and I'm saying to myself, hey, just follow this plan, no matter what. Do every day this, and eventually everything's gonna be alright. I'm telling these things to myself. Then I'm following that plan, hardly, barely, but I'm following. Then all of a sudden, I'm looking at it. I'm looking at where I am. I'm looking at my surroundings. I'm looking at what did it do, all these things. And then I'm looking at the big picture. And I'm realizing with the fact that I'm just deceiving myself. I am just deceiving myself. I'm not progressing. This is not a progress. This is not going forward. This is not. This is a quicksand. And I'm just trying to get myself out of it. Trying to extricate myself. But I'm not being able to extricate myself. The more I try, the more I'm drowned. Sometimes I'm giving preaches to myself like, let's think Saturn's lessons like a threshold. Let's say there's a threshold. Let's say it's 100. Even if you climb like 60, 70, 80, 90, 91, 94, 97, 99, there is still no reward. When you hit 100, Saturn will give you a reward. But then, over and over, I face the fact that this motherfucker is fucking malefic. Saturn is malefic. He's the most malefic planet. And he's crushing me. Every time, literally every time that I felt enthusiastic about showing some progress, making some progress, moving forward in life, and every time I try to make myself believe that everything will work out, just keep doing it. Just keep making music without expecting applauses. Just keep learning stuff without wanting your situation to be perfect. Just keep improving yourself. Although your emotional cravings are not met, then Saturn shows up and crushes me and fuck all the feelings that I had. Fuck all the enthusiasm within me. Fuck everything that I built. And then I'm starting over. And even starting over takes a lot of time. So it drags me into a depression. And then it makes me stay there. And then I'm starting again, doing something. And then it crushes me again, keeps me in depression a little bit more. And then I'm starting over again. Because life is not going anywhere when you're depressed either. Like it's not going anywhere. Like you can only move forward or you can only go backwards. I mean, stagnation is also going backwards to me. The more you stay in stagnation, lots of things you start to forget because you're not practicing, so it's going backwards. So there is only forward and backward. So in the Saturnian place, the benefits that I got is very tiny. What I learned since I come here. So I've come here, I just learned this like deep stuff about astrology, etc. And more music production, the depth of the techniques, etc. Like, and still, I have a lot of things to learn. But I'm not being able to find the enthusiasm within me to continue, the urge within me to continue, the power within me to continue. I don't feel it. And even if let's say I feel it, and let's say I'm continuing it, even continuing is a fucking real deal here. Like, the heaviness on my body, the body aches, the weird pain spikes randomly going on my body. Even now, just now, fuck, something just like, for example, stings my heart. Like, just happened now while I was giving this example. And it still keeps happening a little bit. Anyway, then it will go to my knee, my arm, my whistle. Like, it like keep changing. It keeps changing. Like, the pain is traveling in my body. There's, I believe, there are tons of psychosomatic symptoms as well. You know, while you're feeling like shit, what kind of fruitfulness you can get from what you do. It feels like everything is deserted here. It feels like there's a huge drought. And I'm craving for the green grass, sunlight, a little breeze, a river, a sea. But this is not only deserted, like this is also fucking cold and dark. There is nothing here. I'm still in prison and I'm just talking into fucking space. In my mind, I'm again deceiving myself. I'm thinking like as if as if many people will listen to this. No, fuck no, nobody fucking cares. I'm just deceiving myself. How pathetic. I'm still in prison and I don't know when I'll be able to go out of this prison. I don't think it will happen any soon. Looks like I must suffer more. Everything is so fucking wrong. For real, like, the Depeche Mode song, Wrong. Like, I really do feel like that. I was born with the wrong sign. It's wrong tendencies. Something like that. Anyway, fuck. This place is working so bad. Like there is even an effect of making you uglier, older, or something like this. Like fuck this place. Fuck this place. I've really tested different lines and I kind of saw the differences, but like within whole Europe, it's not something I want. Within whole Europe, it's not going to give the life that I'm craving. And I'm stuck here, not being able to go anywhere. Fuck this thing. I'm not a citizen. I'm an asylum seeker, and I got just temporary residence permit. And I just have a refugee passport, which is very weak. So weak that even Afghanistan is asking visa for it. Now I'm stuck here. And if I could leave, I would have to come back after some months. Because there are some rules about this thing. I need to complete 5 years here to get permanent residence. But even to do that, I should learn Estonian language, which I have zero interest in it, because I don't have any friends, any friends. Like, what am I supposed to do with Estonian? I'm not living in this society. I'm not adapted into this society. It's not working here. If it worked, I should I would learn. For example, I stayed in Russia for 3 months and I learned much more Russian than Estonian. I can literally make conversations and tell my situation in Russian, but not in Estonian. Because in Russia for 3 months I just lived my life. In 3 months it was a fucking great adventure. I loved it. But here it's not working. It's not working. It just not working. So even to learn this language comes really hard on me. It feels like also trying to learn a language of a society that left you alone. So I feel really cold about it as well. Like, honestly, I don't want to learn it. But I have to. But also, with this psychology, I don't know how I will learn it. How I will be able to give that effort. Because I have zero enthusiasm. Like, I'm even feeling a bit disgusted, honestly, about this thing. They just put this rule robotically without thinking about someone like me would come up here. Nah. But I have to learn. And after finishing 5 years, still, I will not be able to get a citizenship or something. Citizenship is given after 8 years. And probably they will require almost perfect Estonian language. Then, then, if everything works well, also underlining that, then I will be able to get Estonian citizenship. Not I'm gonna get, but I will be able to get. Then that would be the Saturn's exit ticket. Then with that citizenship, I can go anywhere, I can travel anywhere, I can do anything, etc. But I can't even stand 1 second staying here. I cannot bear it seriously. Even 1 second is drowning my soul. Like, it is so suffocating. I don't know how I'm gonna take all these things. This reminded me something. When I had seen my first prison penalty on this paper, it was saying 2.5 years I was supposed to in prison. And I was like, I cannot take this. I cannot take this. No. Then it happened so. I took it. It happened. I fucking experienced that shit. And it's easy for the tongue, for say, but it's not easy to experience. The worst part is, I'm still in prison. And now, because this prison doesn't seem visible to others, I also am having to explain, prove that I'm in prison. Because from the outside, I may look free. I do look free, but I'm not. I'm not. I don't know how to get the fuck out of this place. I don't know how to get the fuck out of this Saturnian chain. I don't know how to get rid of these chains of Saturn. I'm literally a captured soul. And Saturn is just torturing me. And he's not even letting me to have fun. When I do it, I'm so scarce in finance that my money would immediately finish it. Like, it would cause a lot of communicational problems with people. I would get a lot of oppositions, etc. It is just repeating again and again. This is so fucked up and so unbearable. I hope I can find a way out. This is not sustainable.